Hi guys, and welcome back to part 2 of your Valentine's night. I hope you enjoyed your interval and I hope you enjoyed your starters as well. Did you enjoy yours?
Fit.
Fit. What about the starters?
Not so fit.
No, they were really good, so yes, I hope you enjoyed them. So, as I said on the end of the last video, is your kettle should be boiled. Basically, we're going to be just making a small stock. So you want probably around about 300 ml, roughly. Get that ready. So you got 300 ml of that ready. Get them dissolved, and then get a pan on. So you want to get your pan that you're going to use your potatoes on. Just a regular frying pan will be absolutely fine, okay? So you want to get that to a medium to high heat, and then slightly oil the pan as well. And basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using that to start frying off and kind of sealing up our potatoes. Look at him, he just wants food all the time. Wills, what's that? They're literally swapping over. What's that? Hugo.
Torture.
What?
Torture for them.
Literally torture. Says Hugh's been feeding peanut butter for days. Rubbing it all over the noses. You know what that little bugger's been doing, right? Feeding them peanut butter and then sticking it on the nose so they can smell it and they can eat it. I wash them, I give them a good clean.
Quiet for days.
What?
Quiet for days.
Wait, I'm waiting on some TV, you're quiet for days.
Good luck.
What have you said?
Just good luck.
Oh. Right, okay, so your pan should be relatively warm now. So when the oil starts to kind of spin around the pan, relatively easy, that's when you know it's going to be quite good. So basically we're going to put them down, straight side down, okay? Now we're probably going to be doing around about 4 minutes each side. Give it a little wobble to make sure that we don't get stuck. Yeah, so a little wobble on the pan, make sure they don't get stuck. And again, I just want to say about 4 minutes each side, and they're going to go in the oven for around about 25 to 30 minutes, okay? And then what that's going to do is we're going to add some garlic, we're going to add some thyme in there, the chicken stock or the beef stock, whichever one you guys have, and then all that together will just make a really nice soft potato fondant, full of flavour, and oh, bless them, full of flavour. I'm going to be perfect accompaniment, pardon me, perfect accompaniment for your Chateaubriand, which we'll go over soon. We've had again tonight as well. We went with a Salento Italian wine we have in the restaurant. We loved it last week, didn't we? So just thought, so we'll just go with it again. It's probably not the most punchy or the most like full-bodied red that we do stock. We just really liked it, so we thought we'd go with that. I'm just having a nice little faux violet gin. I don't really like violet gins or anything like that, or pink gins, anything like that. That one's quite nice, isn't it? It's quite nice and fresh.
Fresh.
More for the summer. I mean,
Any day.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And it's the summer somewhere as well. So, yeah. About 2 more minutes on there, and then we'll get the, as I say, flip them over, get them in the, add the bits and bobs, and then we'll get them in the oven. But I will talk you through absolutely everything that you need to know. It feels like the working space has just got all the clutters reduced. The menu, when I was typing up the menu, it felt like it was going to be really, really challenging, but I'm kind of glad that we went with this, because every element, every side's going to be amazing. Oh, another thing as well, guys, I've actually forgot to prepare the port and Melbeck sauce. So basically what you're going to need, it'll come in a pouch, and basically just need to add it to a pan and just bring it up to heat and then serve it. Probably recommend to serve it like a ramekin or a small bowl or something like that, and then you can use it for your steak. That's my bad, I just totally forgot. Heating up the sauce that we provided for you. Huh?
Mushrooms, yeah.
Sure, I'll let you in. Right, okay, so they've been about 4 minutes, so you want to just flip them over from top to bottom now. You know, take like a nice brown colour over them. So they should have accompanied that much of a colour on the bottom. Can you see that, Josh?
Yeah.
So yeah, you want that colour to...
It's a charger. Portable charger.
Why?
It's on 10%.
10?
You've been watching all my videos. TikTok. Useless.
I've not been on TikTok with you. You're blanking me all night about that.
So pass the charger.
Oh my god. This is how much you know it's live. We haven't rehearsed it. We're not charging nothing up. One sec, let me just plug this in.
Or the side. Yeah.
So, just going to turn that temperature down slightly, okay? And then...
Is that the right charger as well?
Yeah.
You sure? Yours?
Why is that doing it?
I don't think so. I thought yours was the new lighting one.
Right, I've got no idea what happened there, but I think it's just pause. We're just going to merge those videos together, because Sasha's over there forgot to charge my phone. So, what we are going to do is we're going to add, so our potatoes have now been in 4 minutes either side. Ours slightly longer because we burnt them. We lost connection. So basically you want around about 75 grams of butter, and that's probably going to be around about half the amount of butter that we give you. Okay, and it will start to smoke a little bit and start to bubble. And whenever you add butter into a pan, guys, you're always going to add oil to stop it burning. So a little tiny drop of oil. We're going to add some thyme in there as well. And we'll always spike up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some garlic. A key thing to know about garlic is if you've got a whole bulb like that, it's going to be way too big. So you want to just smash it down and then just chop through it once. And that will ensure that all the oils in the garlic is being released, and you've got like a nice even type of chop through, which is the most important thing as well. And I've got a couple of garlic cloves just ready for our chef to do a bit later on. So they are now ready to go. So we should have your buttermilk in there, your garlic, your thyme, and I'm going to add our stock as well. And you want to do it, you want to add all, I've got 300 mils in there. I'm going to add the majority of that in, okay? Okay, so basically once that comes up to the boil, then we're going to put that pan straight in the oven, okay? For around about 25 to 30 minutes. So our pan is nice enough to boil. Just add a bit of salt and pepper in that as well. The stock cube will automatically be quite salty as well, so just bear that in mind when you are seasoning these potatoes. Okay, these are going to go in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Our oven is on again, guys, about 190. So, Chateaubriand, what you've all paid for. So, the key thing about a So the Chateaubriand is the cut of the steak, okay? Depends on kind of where you're from in the world, is kind of where you expect the Chateaubriand to come from. So in the UK, we expect it to be in the centre of the fillet, and if it's UK, yeah, and if it's like, for example, Europe or France, for example, it's more at the head of the fillet. Both are completely fine. So over the all the boxes we've used either of those sides. On our one we've used the centre, but you may have the end of the fillet or a problem. So basically what you want to do, you want to start to oil that Chateaubriand. Have a nice helping of oil there, and you want to then just season it right the way through. Just with salt and pepper, we're going to season it with. And then just wash your hands. Again, so our Chateaubriand's been out for at least an hour, hasn't it? Probably a bit more because we have the starters as well. And that's perfect, absolutely perfect temperature to start utilising, to start cooking the Chateaubriand with. Okay, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of oil into that pan, okay? So the littlest tiniest bit, basically the last thing you want to be doing is adding too much oil into a pan where it starts to shallow fry the steak. All we want to do is to stop it from sticking, and then we can caramelise it each side. In terms of the Chateaubriand, so we're going to cook ours about a medium rare, so we're going to do ours round about 8 minutes in the pan and round about 10 minutes in the oven. It may need a bit less in the oven. It just depends how much your oven can kind of do. So as I say, we're going to do about 8 minutes in the pan and then about 8 to 10 minutes in the oven. Any rarer? Don't worry. It's fine, don't worry.
Nothing.
Okay. So yeah, so that's obviously we give you instructions in terms of what to follow in the pan and in the oven. If it's well done, I'll see you tomorrow. So, whenever you put that meat in the oven, as always, guys, you want to be able to hear it sizzle. That's the most important thing. It means the pan's doing the work. Everyone is so bored of me saying it, but always let the pan do the work. What the pan's there for. Don't be moving it around, it's going to mess it all up. And then the longer you leave it on the bottom, it's going to be more of a caramelisation on it, which is going to be really, really important to the end product of it. So we're going to leave it 2 minutes at the bottom, 2 minutes on the left, 2 minutes on the top, 2 minutes on the right, and then we're going to add loads of butter, garlic, and then start to baste it, and then whack it in the oven for around about 10 minutes, okay? So our potatoes will be in the oven for around about 9 to 10 minutes. What we're going to do now is we're going to put our cauliflower cheese in on the bottom. So basically this is going to take around about 10 minutes with the lid on, and then about 10 minutes with the lid on. So just as everything's starting to come together, that should be coming out, okay? This tastes smells dead good, you know? Yeah, really nice. Hopefully yours are as well. So yeah, just allow that to do its thing, okay? Last day it should have been pre-oiled and seasoned by yourselves as well. And what we're going to do as well, we're going to add plenty of butter in it, because the Chateaubriand will start to drink the butter. So don't be shy, like you're probably going to be putting about 70 grams of butter in there. It's naughty, but it's what's going to make your steak taste as good as it can do at home. Obviously bear in mind that at the restaurants we use a char grill, so it adds loads of different elements, loads of different charring, loads of different flavours to your Chateaubriand. So unless you're doing it on a barbecue, even that won't get to the exact, because it won't be hot enough. Basically you're not going to have the same effect as a restaurant, but it's going to be absolutely amazing. Just follow us, okay? So let's be around 2 minutes. You want to flip it, so the colour you want to be looking for is about that. You got that? Okay. So we're gonna repeat that process 3 more times, 4 in total, and then the two ends we're gonna do probably about 30 seconds each. And all that's gonna do is I'm gonna seal the whole steak. Then we're gonna put it in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes to get that nice and ready. Which is gonna be boxed. Well, let's watch we plate it on. I'm gonna plate it on this. We'll use this chopping board. Let's do this. Ugh. Yum. So again, you want it as like a medium to high heat. It will just kind of get that whole Chateaubriand seasoned and sealed, which will be perfect. I can imagine like everyone to be really nervous about cooking a Chateaubriand. Because I know the amount of stuff that we sold this weekend. So, you know, the most important thing about steak is don't ever rush it. If you start rushing it and thinking that I want to burn it, or you want to try and keep up with me, then don't worry about where I'm up to in my process. Everyone is going to be at a different type of time, different type of process, and a different point of where they're cooking it to. Some people may want it to medium well, and they've got a lot longer to kind of cook everything to and stuff like that. So it's all about preference. Just as long as you follow some of the basics that I'm teaching you, then what you can do at home is actually quite cool. Which is the whole reason we put these boxes together. I would never, ever send a cooked steak out in a takeaway box. I just feel it's disrespectful to our customer base, and I feel it's disrespectful to the meat as well. Because at the end of the day, if it leaves the restaurant medium rare, by the time it gets to your house, it's going to be, I don't know, medium well, and you're not going to be. You're going to be pissed off, and I can't bear the thought of all these years worth of hard work and good reputation to be thrown out the window. It just gets thrown in a cardboard takeaway box. So that's the whole reason we do this. So yeah, so our last 2 minutes on there as well. I think is that about right? Yeah. So 2 more minutes. Quick 30 seconds on each of the sides, and then we're going to add some butter in there, start to baste it with some garlic, and then pop it in the oven. I'm just going to quickly check on our potatoes as well. A quick little hack as well. So if you add the knife to the potatoes and there's a bit of resistance, it means they're not done. But if you go right the way through, it almost feel fluffy to stab, then you know it's ready to go. Yeah, they're about another 15 to 18 minutes away, to be honest. Which would be perfect. Obviously, we need to allow time for our Chateaubriand to rest as well. If you're cooking it for 18 minutes, you want to be letting it rest for about 15 to 18 minutes as well. Okay, I'm just going to quickly sear the top and the bottom. Again, about 30 seconds on each of those, just to kind of complete the whole circumference of the steak. Your Chateaubriand now should have taken on this whole new different colour. It should have gone from like a lovely, perfect red colour, and should have now taken on a really perfect brown. So we're going to add some oil into the pan, and then add our butter, and then start basting it. Then we're going to put it in the oven, for around about 8 to 10 minutes. So a bit of oil stops the butter from burning, and then we're going to add our garlic and our butter. And then we should have some thyme as well. You want to add some thyme. Season a tiny bit more. So once it starts to melt, it will almost become quite frothy around the Chateaubriand. That's exactly what we want our Chateaubriand to be doing. And then I'm just going to bring it over here. So basically what you want to do is you want to start to baste the Chateaubriand with all of the melted butter, the frothy butter, okay? And obviously you can do that over a bit of a heat as well. And you want to do that for around about a minute and a half. And what that's going to do is going to allow all of the flavours of the thyme, the garlic, the butter, etc. to kind of really drizzle through and kind of embrace itself with the Chateaubriand. So, I was going to carry on doing that for a little tiny bit more. I'll have a bit more butter in mine as well. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that for around about a minute, okay? Okay, so we're going to now put it in the oven for about 8 minutes. And the first time we're going to check it is about 7-8 minutes from now. So I think we've got a couple of minutes for everyone to probably catch up. Whether you're at kind of basting stage or your Chateaubriand's in the oven or you've kind of got a well done steak or a medium well steak to do, now's the time where things will be coming and landing a little tiny bit kind of off tempo to me. Unless you're doing it at a medium rare like us, then you should be bang on time. I'll just give you a couple of minutes. I obviously knew what was coming next. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to kind of transfer it to another pan. So obviously if your pan isn't oven friendly, then that's where I said you may need a roasting tin. You can obviously transfer your Chateaubriand to a roasting tin and then place it in the oven for around about 8 to 10 minutes. That's not a problem. Obviously our pan was oven friendly, so that's exactly what we needed. So in terms of organisation, the last things we're going to need is, you've got the tender stem broccoli, almonds, and we've got some more butter there. And basically that's the only three things we're going to use for our final accompaniment for the Chateaubriand. We're going to start to get bowls and plates and stuff ready. So they're for our potatoes and for our tender stem. So we should have one last pan on there. That's going to obviously be for our tender stem, okay? Then people start to catch up. He's glared at me for this cauliflower, so I'll probably go and check. How long's it been there? 10 minutes?
A bit more.
So yeah, so basically what you want to do now is start to unpeel the lid for the cauliflower cheese. It's really hot, guys, as well, so just bear that in mind. And then we're going to finish it off in the oven to kind of get a nice little crust on the top for around about 10 minutes, okay? I'm going to put it on the middle shelf just so it can start to really get a nice colour on the top to kind of get the panko breadcrumbs starting to crisp a little bit for you. I'm going to garnish it with some parsley as well. That's why that's chopped, ready to go. In terms of time, your tender stem broccoli is probably going to take around about 4 minutes. It should be a little bit crispy, and that's the best thing. That's the best way to have it. To be honest, you want to kind of have a little bit of a crunch. It adds that element of texture to a dish. You never want it to be boring and floppy, because that's not really how veg should be done. Obviously, if you don't like it, I'll then tell you what you need to do. You need to start cooking it a little bit longer than the 4 to 5 minutes that we're going to suggest anyway. You looking forward to this? He's not. For the benefit of the tape, he's nodding. What's on a brick wall?
Like a mute.
You are. I mean, probably brick wall's more attractive, so. Cool. That is looking really good. So the Chateaubriand's been in for around about 4 minutes. We've got like about another 4 minutes of it. Then we're going to take ours out. So ours is going to be on the more rare side. So obviously we will have it in for 8 minutes, and then basically if you want it any longer, then obviously follow your cooking instructions, which is be provided with the box. I think everyone right now will just be kind of running around and doing kind of their own thing, flapping probably, yeah.
I would.
Get those potatoes in the oven! Fuming. Or I bet like early on they were like that. Oh, here's your card, love you loads. Then there's murder in the kitchen.
You. 3 tacos, 3 bonbons. Murder. He's having the 3rd.
Oh my god, yeah. So we were talking about this before actually. The reason we like I put two bonbons and 3 tacos on. Now the reason is because like there always should be an argument when you're sharing it. There's never a polite sharing. Like you always have to say, "Do you want the last one?" And then the other person's got to go, "No, it's all right. You have it." And if they then they have it, the person who's being polite enough is fuming. So we had 3, and then fat ass over there went, "I'm going back to the oven to make another one." So we made a 4th. So we couldn't even polite share. we ended up doing evens. I can't wait for everyone to see you. Like them, like.
And this big massive, yeah,
That's
this
fine.
big yeti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like it was meant to be tonight, but on Saturday, isn't it? It's definitely just in. Who do you think it's Sheldon's birthday?
No, other one. Stacey.
Stacey?
Yeah.
No way. She's too busy off friggin' loose with him. Being all loose and nasty.
Wow.
I know, yeah.
Stick to cooking, yeah.
Stick to cooking, yeah. What time did the Shasta go in? 27?
Yeah.
8 minutes. Woo! So this is slightly rarer than I would like, to be honest. I was going to go back in for another minute. I'll put this in and explain to you how you can, that's how it is, but I want to explain how you can kind of test it on the, so I'm going to leave that in just for another 2 more minutes. So basically, between your thumb and your finger here, if you press down like that, it's got a really nice bounce to it. That's basically your medium to medium rare kind of texture. To the bottom of your thumb, there's a bit more resistance, that's probably your medium. And then to the bottom of your palm here, where there's no resistance at all, that's your well done. So in terms of when you're feeling your Chateaubriand when it's coming out, see which one of those it's adopting, and then it's more than likely going to be that in the centre. Does that make sense? Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to leave it in just for another 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to get our 10 stem broccoli on in a couple of seconds as well. That's the thing about being as live as we can be, is because like every piece of steak, like just like a human, every piece of steak, every animal comes in different shapes and sizes and things like that. So we want to just when we say it's going to take 6 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes, take it with a pinch of salt, just because it could alter. If you feel like it's a really broad piece of steak, bear that in mind that it may take an extra couple of minutes in the oven. Right, okay, that's been about 2 minutes. I'm going to grab it out now. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that now. So basically, when you rest, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of that. Over the top of it. So basically, when you are resting a piece of red meat, we add it in for about 15 minutes, for argument's sake. So we want to be resting that now for another 15 minutes. That gives us enough time to finish off our potatoes, for you guys to catch up, and then to finish our tender stem as well, which is exactly where we need to be at. Okay. So obviously, your other half can start opening the wine. Oh, you can't. So yeah, I'll open the wine. Start setting the table, kind of get yourselves comfortable because you're in for a treat. This Chateaubriand is really, really good, guys. And when I want to open it, because you've got that ugly 1940s friggin' bottle.
That Boss one, yeah. Do you want
a Boss one?
It's there if you want it.
It's alright. I don't even want to embarrass myself.
I'll sort it, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to quickly check our potatoes. That gives me an idea then where we're up to with the whole cooking element of things. Right, okay. They are around about, I reckon around about 4 minutes from being done. To be honest, they're nice and fluffy in the centre. You've got a bit of a crisp around the outside. They smell amazing. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish them off in the oven around about 4 more minutes. I'm going to start our tender stem, okay? They're going to be piping hot for at least another 10 minutes, so it kind of allows us to get ahead of ourselves. So I'm going to put them back in the oven now for like 4 more minutes. I'm going to put them on the bottom of the oven as well, guys, okay? Now, get our pan on for our tender stem. Slightly oil the pan. And then slightly oil the actual tender stem. Broccoli, and we want to season it as well. Just basically with salt and pepper. Let's give it a little toss around in whatever bowl or whatever you've got it in. I've got it in the Tupperware. It's so easy to clean, isn't it? Well, I'm not cleaning, you are. So it's our agreement. I cook, you clean. I cook once a week and you clean 7 days a week. That's how it works.
Balance.
It's all about the balance. And, you know, identifying who's boss really early on in a relationship. That's the way it is. No one can see you. No one can see you. So let's get that pan nice and warm. And again, once the oil starts moving around freely, you know the pan's pretty much at temperature. So now it's a bit of a race now to kind of get this finished. So again, it's probably going to take around about 4 to 5 minutes. Nice and crunchy, nice al dente. Once that's finished as well, in the same pan, we're going to add our butter, our almond, and we're going to literally toast them until they're just turning from a light colour to a golden brown. Then we're going to pour it all over the tender stem broccoli. That'll make it the most gorgeous little side accompaniment. Nice little crackle in there, which is nice. That cauliflower cheese might just be the most thing I'm looking forward to. I am just going to add a little bit of garlic butter onto the top of the Chateaubriand. Now it'll just really start to make emulsify things and make a nice sticky texture. It's starting to wilt now, but as I say, it just will take a little tiny bit longer. I think we'll get the potato out in a sec, you know.
Switch it off.
Sorry?
Switch it off. The oven.
No. No, it's fine. So we get them out, because they're going to maintain the heat anyway. So these potatoes are completely done. They're nice little accompaniments. If you want to just add a bit of sauce over the top, it's just your stocks, but it will be nice and garlicky and full of thyme as well. So we'll add that a tiny bit and just a little sprinkle salty out over there. We'll want it. So, quickly. Go back to our broccoli. Don't worry if it starts to kind of go a bit brown as well, guys. That's exactly what is going to happen. We won't ever lose this green texture unless you leave it in the oven for a week. But otherwise, it's going to be the most amazing tender stem. Got your cheese. Nice and done. So literally the only thing now we are waiting for. A bit of garnish on that. The only thing now we're waiting for is our tender stem broccoli, and everything else will be ready. That'll be finished resting in around about 4 minutes. So now it's a little tiny bit of race. Get your table set, guys, get your drinks poured in, and then we get ready to rock and roll. So we'll finish mine in the oven in a sec, guys, okay? Butter in the pan, all the almonds, low heat though, guys, okay? Yeah. Rock salt over there, and then a nice toasted almonds. Right guys, I appreciate your patience and I hope that you are absolutely thrilled with your Valentine's Day experience, and I really hope you enjoy it, guys. I, for one, can't wait to kind of get stuck in. But yeah, enjoy it, stay safe, and thank you very much again for supporting us. It means a lot. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.